Okay, very good there, Steve. KF6SYD. And the group, this is KK6IRZ. Okay, so it is George doing it tonight. I thought it might have been George on the second Wednesday, so we'll look for him shortly and see when he's ready to rock and roll over there. For right now, let's continue on and see if we can't do maybe an intentional out-of-state call. So everybody that's already checked in, if you'll put your ears to the speakers and your twisty knobs in the right locations, let's see if maybe we can pull in some out-of-staters. We'll do a specific call for any out-of-state stations that would like to check into the Wednesday night AMI early list. This is KK6 now.
How about out of sorts?
Okay, the only one I heard was Bob. Did anybody else hear anybody on the fringes?
Didn't even get my call.
Well, that certainly sounds like Bob. Go ahead and give me a call. Let's make sure. Yeah, is it you or is it somebody else?
It is me, and I'm supposed to identify. Playing by the rules. Amateur radio station, Whiskey Elfiner and Juliet Via Bravo. The best little radio station in La Cañada, California. Speaking out Trey into the West Coast AMI net. Back to you, KK6IRZ, WA9JIE.
Okay, very good, Bob. Yeah, good group in your gathering so far. Conditions seem to be fairly good, at least over here into Chino, and they seem to be getting better by the minute, so that's good. You're booming in here, doing a great job. And I guess coming up will be George HCX to do the net here. So let's do it now, just a regular old call instead of out-of-staters, just anybody that might want to get on to the list for the early Wednesday night AMI. Go ahead and call now.
WA6, Jacks, Kings, and Nines.
Okay, I heard WA6JKN and WA6JUS. Is there anybody else? Okay, not hearing anything else. Very good. WA6JKN, good evening to you, Kevin. And welcome to the earliest for the Wednesday night AMI net. You are on the list, and go ahead and make a transmission. And when you're done, send it over to WA6JUS John. This is KK6IRZ.
Yeah, okay, Jeff, you got one of the loudest signals I've heard on this band in a long time. Yeah. Perfect situation going on here with the propagation and your square root antenna, that's for sure. Anyway, not much to report, just got back from dinner. We met up with my daughter and my son-in-law for dinner. And boy, we had a blast. Had a great time. So just walked in the door, matter of fact, and I said, oh yeah, I got to go check in on the net before the net starts. So I've done that, and now I need to go get the garbage cans from the curb and put those away and get back here in time before the net starts. I have some a hot toddy being made right now, so that should warm me up. So, John, get ready. WA6JUS. WA6 Jacks, Kings, and 9s. Kevin and Gilroy.
And 6JOP Oregon.
WA6JPU, WA6JUS. And that's Daniel Good. Riding with that. The first one. And got a lot to the yacht club. Chris, thank you for calling. It will be good to get the rectifier too. Like I said, the fourth 100 makes the thing alive. And I showed it to the people there and they were happy. They were happier than I was thought. Anyway, that's WA6JUS. Thank you.
Okay, very good. WA6JUS and WA6JPN. Welcome to the earlies and the upcoming Wednesday night AMI Net. I thought I might have heard somebody trying to sneak in there between Kevin as he sent it over to John. Was there a station trying to check in? Go ahead. Nope, I heard nothing. So there you go. Let's see maybe if George is lurking at this point. WA6HCX. George, have you wandered out into the chat and fired things up and tentatively listening from the wings? Go ahead.
Yes. Yes, you're coming through 2-5. Solid signal tonight, and we're monitoring here. Anytime less 10 feet. So give it about 5 minutes or so. Of the Eagle. So this is the night of Eagle. And we call them into session here. Anyhow, it sounded very good, and we'll be standing by here.
Okay, very good, George. WA6HCX with the Wednesday night AMI Net earlies. This is KK6IRZ. Jeff in the thriving metropolis of Chino, California. And we're looking to see if there might be anybody else that wants to get on the list before the net gets started. So if there is somebody with a beautiful AM signal out there that would like to chime in and get on the early list for the Wednesday night AMI Net, please come now. Okay, hearing crickets and static and all that kind of good stuff. So you know what? We're going to swing back up to the list here, and we'll go back to Ron, KD6VWS. I would send it over to Mark, WC6D, but he said he was already going to be rolling in the sheet. So I guess it's your turn, Ron. KK6IRZ.
Okay, Jeff, KK6IRZ, 36VWS. Well, I'm confident that it's cool, and Steve was a little light on his head. John, a little bit, but I think confident for the most. Everybody else is going back. So, it looks like the southern cross went south. Maybe it's crossed up that time, so that's a good thing. George, HCX, you're coming in good, so I'm sure everybody will hear you tonight on the net. So with that, let me send it out to you, Jeff. KK6IRZ, KD6VWS.
Okay, very good. KD6VWS with the group. This is KK6IRZ. I guess there's no reason we can't start transferring the list at this point. Let's see where we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Looks like an even 20 right at the moment. So, George, do you have a pen in hand and a paper close by? And I will try to be clear and slow and even so that we can get it all done. Go ahead.
Oh, I have a pencil. Yeah, so slow. And you get the bottom hole.
Okay, very good. Was there somebody trying to check in? Go ahead.
Yeah, November 6th, November, Yankee X-ray.
Okay, November 6th, November Yankee X-ray. November Yankee X-ray. And sorry, what was the name there?
George Golf Romeo Echo Golf.
Okay, very good, Greg. I should have known that. Why didn't I? Stupid idiot I am. What the hell? Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and do the list then, George, and we're going to start right out with W6, WUH, Whiskey 6, Whiskey Uniform Henry, and that is Larry. Larry, Whiskey 6, WUH. Then there's Chris, Kilo India 6, Charlie Sierra Alpha, Chris. KI6 CSA. Then Mark checked in, Whiskey Charlie 6 Delta, WC6D, Mark. But Mark is already going to be going to bed. He said he can't stay up late enough for the net, but he wanted to stop by and at least get on the list and all that. So there you go. Next up was KD6VWS Ron, Kilo Delta 6, Victor Whiskey Sierra. Then it's Don, Delta Oscar November, Don, and his call is NF7R, November Foxtrot 7, Romeo. Then up after that is J, NY6L, J, November Yankee 6, Lima. Then you have John coming after that, which is Kilo 7, Lima Yankee, K7LY, John, K7LY. Then there was Steve out there mobile. I don't know if he's going to be able to check in, if he's still listening, if he's still out, or maybe he'll be back on, back home or whatever. But W6RXK, Whiskey 6, Romeo, X-ray, Quebec. Kilo, sorry. Whiskey 6, Romeo, X-ray, Kilo, Steve. And he was out there mobile earlier. So then there is W6YEC, George. That came in there, W6YEC, George. Then we got W7MS, Mike. W7MS, Mike. How you doing there, George?
Perfect and spot, man.
Okay, very good. Up next then is Vaughn, K6ZTA, K6ZTA Vaughn. And then you have Skip, K6LGL, which is K6LGL, Kilo 6 Lima, George Lima. Skip. Followed by Dave, WJ6W with the... Wow, why is my phonetic alphabet going into a brain freeze tonight? Whiskey Juliet 6 Whiskey. My brain is on pause here half the time. Whiskey Juliet 6 Whiskey, WJ6W. Dave, you get that one anyway. Then there's Larry, KN6IYC. Kilo, November 6, India Yankee Charlie. That's Larry. Then you have Steve, KF6SYD. Steve, KF6SYD. Then Bob comes rolling in there with WA9JIB. Bob, WA9JIB. And then, of course, you got Kevin, WA6JKN. Kevin, WA6JKN. Then John, WA6JUS. WA6JUS John, and then Greg, who came in there right at the end, N6NYX, November 6, November Yankee X-ray, came in to round off the bottom of the list. Did you get that all, George, or do you need any fill-in?
No, not at all. By the way, a really, really great job. You know how to communicate over the hold on. Audio good. Check audio going out. Okay, there we are. Anyhow, I was saying that how to communicate when it's necessary. Open up the wall. That we have radioactivity. Go ahead, guys.
Is this frequency in use, W7MS?
Kilo 6, India, Romeo, Zanzibar. KK6I
Whiskey 6, don't go to Quebec.
Chino, California.
NYX.
Steve, did you hear George? I think he was asking if you might be able to do the net.
I was, hell, okay, it works. I was across the room. I didn't hear that, so I think I will be able to. Just give me a second and I'll be right back.
Okay, is that what you wanted, George? You wanted to see if Steve would take the net? I'm sorry, you kind of dropped off on us there.
Yeah, I'm having some trouble with the transmission and good luck to you.
Okay, George, sorry for the troubles, but good hearing you in there. Anyway, yeah, you were coming in like gangbusters there in the beginning. Sounded really good. Thought you were ready to rock, so sorry to hear about the gremlin that snuck in there and bit you unexpectedly from the backside. Steve, are you back at the microphone, and did you by chance jot down the list as I was going, or did you need it also?
Oh, no, I wrote it down. I even haven't. You're not on the list, Jeff. KK6IR said, Jeff, now you are on the list, and happy to take the net tonight. And George, before you run off, I'll give you a quick update on Valerie. She was beginning to work at Disneyland, and she wanted to run rides, and they gave her Winnie the Pooh to run, but they've changed their mind. Valerie's not going to be running Winnie the Pooh. She's going to be running Pirates of the Caribbean. This is much better. So she's got her little name tag and her little badge, same thing, her little badge name tag, and she's going to get her pirate costume on Thursday, and they will assign her a mentor, that's what they call, and to show her how to do everything, including putting on what they call it, waders. The very high boots that go up to your waist, so that she'd be able to go out into the water and assist people to get them ashore in case the ride breaks down. So we'll get to hear about all of this as it happens, but that's coming up for Valerie. And because you always ask about her, I just thought I'd fill you in case you're thinking of running off WA6HCX. George, back over to you. You take a little one before we start things if you want to.
I'm not sure about the mod. How do I sound there, Steve?
I didn't hear the last thing. You're sounding fine, George.
Okay, very good. This thing on the but geez, real quick, I'll pick up the last one. It's so great to hear that signal come along. So when it's not on the
Okay, George, thanks for starting it off, and we'll see about 2 weeks from now. If you're cool to do it, it'll be great to hear you on. So now I'm trying to find a file on the computer. There it is. And welcome to the Wednesday night Amplitude Modulation International Net. The purpose of this net is to promote the restoration, preservation, and enjoyment of AM equipment, including AM transmitters, receivers, assorted vintage AM gear, and anyone capable of creating one or two sidebands of a carrier. We welcome you to check in. And I got reflective power, so let's turn that on. You don't need to be a member to join the net. If you want to become a member of AMI, you'll receive a certificate that has on it your own personal ID number. If you would like a membership, go to the AMI website. That's aminternational.club. Fill out the membership form, pay the $5 fee, and if you need to mail in for that instead of going on the website, let me know. I've got an address for John McGrath. That's at N9AMI, who's also good on MQRZ. He's the one who takes care of all that now and keeps the websites going, sends the certificates out, and we appreciate very much what John does for our group. I'm your AMI Net Control Tonight, KF6 SYD Stephen, Long Beach, AMI 1708. And I'm running a CCA AM1000D transmitter. Inverter D at 70 feet, AKG microphone. We also have a West Coast website for our West Coasters out here, and that's westcoastami.com. And pictures of all of us, or most all of us, are there on our get-togethers we've had. So many of. When I call you, please share your name, your call, and make and model of your equipment. Tell us if you have anything else you want to talk about for a few minutes, and tell us if you have anything you want to buy, anything you want to list for sale, ham equipment wise, during your check-in. And let me know if you would like to be on the list for the informal roundtables that usually follows the net. And I'll put you on the list. Let's see. And we've done the tune-up already. And that's it. So let's go ahead and kick things off with Jeff. Thank you for taking the list tonight, giving it to us. KK6IRZ, Jeff, go ahead and take your turn.
Okay, Steve, thanks. I appreciate it. Just making sure everything looks like it's supposed to be. Or at least close enough, and it does. Running her a little bit tight tonight. This is KK6IRZ. The name is Jeff. I live in the thriving metropolis of Chino, California, future home of a superhero. At least everybody here in Chino thinks we deserve one because we are such a thriving metropolis. But we are certainly unsure of who that might be. Tonight I'm running the technical equipment. Got a little dynamic microphonium going to just a hair of touching to keep things under control, and a processor with a little EQ just to tailor it out after that, and then that goes into my Bervin DJS 750, which is a homebrew rig that was birthed somewhere around 1992 on the East Coast. That goes out to a Johnson kilowatt matchbox, and open wire line all the way out to the infamous square root antenna, which has no reason to work, but it seems to work okay, so I'm going to remain baffled but happy. Listening this evening actually just on the ICOM 735 receiver. Don't have anything else turned on, but I got the 20 dB attenuator in, and everybody is easy copy. It was a little bit rough for a while there with some of the mixing of the Southern Europe, but they've been gone for a little while and seem to have shuffled off to somewhere, so there you go. My AMI number is 1809. I do have something that I've been looking for that I've been doing the past couple weeks, a little move of just all kinds of good build parts out of San Diego, and I came across some 450 TLs that are all marked as tested and good and that type of thing. And I imagine that somebody who would want those for either something they have or something they want to build might also be a builder. So what I'd like to do is see if I can find somebody to trade a transformer. I've been looking for a transformer which is, 8 to 10 kV, has about 4,000 volts on the secondary with 240 on the primary, so I can make me a nice little amplifier power supply, but I need the transformer. So if anybody has a transformer like that and would be in need of a trade with 450 TLs or whatever, maybe I can get something and you can get something. So there you go. That's my list. But other than that, it was a great weekend. Getting down to San Diego, seeing everybody at Foster's, same as the weekend before. And now I'm just overloaded trying to find a place to put everything at this point. So it's been fun, but back to organizing. So there you go. That's over here. I guess go ahead and put me on for the round table, but I can't guarantee it. But put me on it anyway, and we'll see how it goes. So KF6 SYD. Oh, and sorry, George, that you weren't able to get things rocking. When you first came on, like I say, great big signal, sounded good, and then just kind of went sideways. So that's too bad. Look forward to hearing you in the future. KF6 SYD with the Monday night AMI net. This is KK6IRZ. Jeff in Chino, California.
Hi, Jeff. I'm sure everybody heard your want for a trade. I didn't write down the specifics of the transformer you want, but your signal is very strong. I'm sure I don't need to repeat that. Thank you, Jeff, for everything tonight. That's for the round table. You have me first on the round table. Yes, you're here. All right, next, W6WUH Larry, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Steve, and thanks for taking the net. Yeah, Dave, your audio was broken and distorted, and a good thing is that you stopped to fix it. But thanks for taking the net, Steve, and Jeff, thanks for taking the earlies. 20 warm bodies, not too bad. Larry, W6WUH, Occidental, Northern California. We're up here in Sonoma County, near Bodega Bay, and the wine country, and the salmon, and the redwoods, and all that good stuff. Listening tonight on the Kenwood R2000 because that's what's on the workbench, and talking on what I'm starting to call the octopus, the giant octopus, the Globe King 500A with a tinge of B and a tinge of C in it. Maiden voyage for the transmitter in my hands tonight. I've been working on it for a month, trying to get rid of some gremlins, and this is what we've got. This is maybe 1956. It's a late A model. It incorporates the 6AG7 oscillator that shows up in the schematics of the 500B, but not the A, but it's got it anyway, so there you go. So near as I can figure, it's a late rendition of the 500A, which has two stages of 6C5 triode speech amplification and not one, and does not have the wonky compressor that nobody wants and didn't work. So that's all good. What to say? AMI number is 800. The usual configuration with tonight a Dentron Super Tuner. It's fixed tuned on 80, but it's a little undersized for this transmitter. Open wire line, 75 ohm dipole at about 40 feet. Headed most everybody's way, oriented northwest, southeast. Golly, I don't know what to say other than we got 20 people on the group here. I think by the time the round table happens, my wife will be home from choir, so I'll say no to that and no to the swap. And back to you, Steve. KF6SYD, W6WUH. Oh, by the way, this is the This is the stock audio. This still has the cup plates for the interstage coupling capacitors, which are 0.005, so that's why it's so narrow. I want to make sure that everything is working right before I change anything in it. J6SYD, W6WUH, talking to everybody tonight. Good signals.
Okay, Larry. Well, the audio doesn't sound very pinched. To me, it sounds pretty good, so looking forward to having it sound even better, but it's really not restricted. And I was wondering why is Larry so strong? I never can hardly hear him down in the lobby. And now I found out why right away. So congratulations. It's cool to have that on the air. Sounds great. Thanks, Larry. I'm gonna go. Let's try taking blocks of 4 stations, because the clock's moving kind of fast, and it's got most of the list left to go, so you don't need me chiming in after everybody gets their turn. So KI6CSA Chris, you're up next, and please turn it over to KD6BWS, and that's Ron. And Ron, could you please turn it when you're finished to NF7R, and that is Dawn. And Dawn, when you're done with your turn, please turn it over to send it over to NY6LJ, and Jay, you can pass it back to me. So, KI6CSA, over to you, KI6SYD.
Okay. KI6SYD, that's KI6CSA, located in base light, AMI-net, AMI number 1764, we're running an airport shop. Alpha receiver, and that's about 36 volts carrier monitoring on it. Super center flood. Congratulations, Saturday. So that's like Disneyland. That's really good guys. That's right. Thanks for taking over. Rob topic. Anyway, we got our guys here, and it's already 8:22. And that's cool tonight. Apple trees. And no on the swamp and no on the route there.
Okay, thank you, Chris. KI6CSA, KD6BWS, Ron and Joshua Tree. And I'm on the Valiant, early versions. Got it with the Turner +3 microphone, and 50-watt carrier. That's going and receiving on the BC348J with the R42 helicopter speaker hooked up to that. And then the W4 joint watt meter to the SO540 EKIT antenna tuner. Set to the in-bed line wire at about 25 feet. Quarter wave counterpoise off the shield. The AMI number is 1671. Go on the swap on the ground table. But I'll be listening all the way through. Steve, for taking the net. Sorry, George is WA7BAX on the side. With that, let's see, Seneca Power, NF7R, take it away, KD6VWS.
WS, NF7R, and good to hear you on, and
we'll see.
You got an outstanding Steve. You do also, and of course Ron does too. I noticed one thing with your signal, Jeff, that was kind of interesting, and then I finally took a minute to figure it out because I'm not used to hearing it. But when you first come on, you hit me with a carrier that's about an S9 or maybe 5/9, and then you kick your afterburner in and you jump up to about 25/9, plus or minus. But I get that first kick with a good solid carrier, and then bang, you come on with your full mojo, I guess you'd say. So anyway, needless to say, it sounds really good. But it took me a minute to figure out what was going on. So I'm assuming that's what it is the exciter, and then you're kicking in the putting on your boots. Let's see, AMI number here is 1769 and located in Logandale, Nevada. And more correction, about 30 miles northeast of Las Vegas in the southeast corner of Nevada. And let's see, using the Viking Valiant, the old one, and running about 140 watts a carrier. And I'm using tonight the HRO 60, and I seem to have it fixed up pretty good now. I had to do some, replaced a few parts here and there, but it really woke up the S-meter, which is kind of nice. Had a very stingy S-meter, and I had to go in there and take care of some ugly resistors and caps and just a few things, nothing major, but man, it really woke up the S-meter. The receiver still sounds great, but now the S-meter reflects how great the receiver is. I won't keep it too long. I know you got to keep this going there, so back over to you, Steve. And by the way, your signal is a good S9 plus 15 to 20 and sometimes 25, just an outstanding signal. KF6SYD, this is NF7R.
WA7DAX.
Oh, now somebody else is sneaking their call letters in, and I keyed up over you. Please come again, and I'll write you down on the list.
Yeah, Whiskey Alpha 7, Delta Alpha X-ray. Whiskey Alpha 7, Delta Alpha X-ray, Salt Lake City, Utah. The name is Ed, over.
And Whiskey 6, Delta Quebec, W6DQ.
All right. Got you guys. W7 Delta Alpha X-ray. And Dennis, I've got you, and I'll scribble Lisa down, too. Glad to have you here. All of you. And anyone else want to get on the list before we continue? All right, that gets us caught up. And Don, yeah, Jeff always has that. It's like, you hear him, like, oh, here it comes. There, and it's a two-stage startup, which is his signature. And I guess that keeps things from going wrong. Ron, you're sounding good. Chris, thank you. And we'll take another Purple 4 here. NY6LJ, it'll be yours, and will you please turn it to K7 Lima Yankee. That's John. John, when you finish with your turn, checking in, please turn it to W6RXK. That's Steve. And Steve, good to hear you. When you get finished, please turn it over to W6YEC George. We'll see how this goes. NY6LJ, take it away.
Okay, very good. I had to roll over from the workbench to grab the microphonium here. Boy, everybody's sounding really fantastic. Okay, AMI number 1548. We're running the mighty modified Viking Valiant with a straight D104 microphonium here. National NC303 on the receive end, and that's going out to 80-40 meter dipole with a 4 engineers 1-to-1 1.5K Ballon. And that's up about between 35 and 40 feet up in the air out in the open.
And let's see here. Yeah, put me on the round table. I got to, blow the cobwebs out of the Valiant here. So basically, I got like 3 AM stations here. So, including the Super Senior and, of course, the Kenwood TS690. Steve, can I make a quick announcement for Claremont Swap Meet that's coming up this Saturday?
Oh yeah, you always get to do that kind of stuff when you check in. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay. I will be responsible for CBW there, and he's going to be out with family up in Washington State, so he asked me to step in and run the Claremont Swap Meet. It's coming up this Saturday. It's going to be at the Granite Creek Church at 1580 Claremont Boulevard in the city of Claremont, and that's 91711. And it's just right off the 210 freeway, at Baseline Road, and just go down to south on Lonnie Vista, and then right turn on Claremont Boulevard, and then the church marquee is right there, and just park in Sellers Park, and let's see, that'd be on the southwest corner of the parking lot. We're going to be sharing a parking lot with the Vintage Car Show there too, so we'll kind of be, kind of a little bit next door neighbors there. So that's going to be this Saturday at the Granite Creek Church, the Claremont Ham Radio Electronic Swap Meet, and I'll be running it for Brian. So back to Chamber Steve and MI6L Hesperia.
Okay, Jay. Well, those two events kind of go together with each other, so you should benefit. Both groups benefit by being side by side. So I'm sure everybody heard you. Your signal's very strong, so thanks for checking in. Now over to K7 LY. John, welcome, and tell us what you got.
Really short. Put it right over there. All right, okay, go ahead and take it.
Okay, John, I heard you on KFS. Sounds good. Sorry you kept it so short. Make a longer one next week if you want to come back and visit. W6RXK Steve, your turn, go ahead.
Steve, very good. W6RXK Mobile. W6YEC. Well, heard you there on KFS. Barely could hear you over there. I knew you were in there, but I couldn't make out what you were saying. I've been using KFS for a year anyway, and so I thought I'd turn it on tonight just for the fun of it and see if I could get it up and running and working. Yep, it's working just fine. And that way I was able to copy John, YS, and Steve. Okay, so W6YEC here in Lemon Grove, AMI 1197. And we're running the normal setup here, the Viking Ranger 2, driving a Dentron 2500, MLA 2500, for 300, a little over 300 watts. And everything seems to be working pretty good. Best I can tell here. Nice flat SWR, which I wasn't sure about. I hadn't looked at that for quite a while. Looks pretty good on the Heat Kit tuner. A full-wave loop up to about 40 feet with homemade open feed line coming out the tuner off a switch, actually a Frankenstein switch. I switched this loop between a 4-to-1 current balance and the tuner. The tuner operates all my vintage gear. The 4-to-1 goes through an electronic tuner, Alacraft, for my Icon setup, and all works out pretty nice. One bit of things here, Don, in NF7R, I hope you're still there. I got that coil in a box. I better wrap it and pack it. But I noticed that you only have a PO box on the QRZ. I don't know that they would take a package. What I'd like you to do, if you want that coil, is just give me a call sometime, 619-277-6043, and we can get that shipped off to you, that 80-meter coil. And I'm not sure if it was made specifically for a 60 or a 50, on the HRO. And I can't remember what the difference is. There might not be any difference on the 80-meter coil. Anyway, give me a call when we get a chance, and we can work out the details, how to get that into your hands. All right, Steve, I think that's it. I don't have any other traffic, and I'm not going to stay around to the round table tonight. Thanks for running the net. Everything's sounding good. You sound beautiful tonight, as you always do. And George was having a rough time over there, sounds like. I don't know what he was on, but it sure wasn't a normal signal that I'm used to. So, let's see. Where was I on the list? I think I give it back to you, if I'm not mistaken. KF6SYD. And you give it over to Mike. I believe that's the way it's supposed to work. KF6SYD, W6YC.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to comment that, Steve, on that go-around mobile, I was hearing you on the local receiver over here in Chino. So being that we don't hear too often mobiles dropping by, I figured I'd give you that quick report before you disappeared. And then at the round table afterwards, I'll explain, if anybody cares, the step before the ka-chunk happens on my transmitter.
All right, Jeff. Yeah, Steve, son. I couldn't, I live in it's noisy here around my house, electronically speaking, and I had to use KFS, but Steve, to hear you out there in Death Valley on mobile, what a treat. Thank you for doing it and sticking around and saying hi to us from way out there. That's so cool. George, you sound great. Just blasting in here. And, for when I had a P.O. box, I hate P.O. boxes. If somebody sent a package, they'd have to go to the post office to send it. Send it USPS, ship USPS, and then I'd get a note in my P.O. box, and then I have to go to the counter, and they'd give me the package. So that would work. Of course, UPS and FedEx and all that, it won't work for them usually. You probably already knew all that. Good luck getting the coil out there, George, and thanks for being here. Again, killer signal into Long Beach tonight, George. Let's see. Let's keep going here, and then we'll call for additional stations. Next is W7MS, Mike. Please take your transmission and send it over to K6ZTA, and that's Vaughn. And Vaughn, when you are ready, please send it over to Skip, K6LGL. And Skip, after your transmission, please send it to WJ6W. Dave, and Dave, you can send it back to me when you get finished. So, W7MS, take it away, KF6SYD.
Well, thank you, Steve. KF6SYD in the Wednesday evening AMI-NET, W7MS Mike and Reno. Well, good conditions from all. Got a few words here and there from Steve in Death Valley, so that's great. And it was great to have Steve hang out for the official net time here. But and also congratulations to Larry on his maiden voyage with the GK 500A/B. Good job. Nice to hear it tonight. And what else to say? And hello to George if he still has the receiver on. Sorry he was having issues. And a big thanks to you, Steve, for stepping up and also being prepared for a possible situation. And you were good to go. But again, Mike and Reno, AMI number 216 tonight, running still in the end of the sea trial era, and that's the National 600 transmitter, circa 1938. And I think the one thing I will comment on, it's that old-fashioned ham radio. It's in an open rack with lethal voltages exposed. So unlike Jeff, you don't want any small children or pets around it because it would be lethal. And fortunately, I'm about 5 feet away, and I don't have my hands behind the rack, so we wish to continue on as a life form. But receiver is a National HRO 5 TA1 that I'm hearing you all on, and just the usual amplified D104 microphone. So we'll keep it relatively short here, but no swap, no round table, because I think there's something I want to watch on TV at 9 o'clock. No offense to the folks here tonight, but maybe a higher priority at least for this evening. And enjoying, again, conditions, because it says with the time change and summer approaching, I'll probably just do my summertime disappearing act, but tonight's fantastic for propagation. So over to Vaughn, K6ZTA W7MS Reno.
W7MS K6ZTA, and keep your distance from that. Those voltages that are hanging out there in the breeze. Okay, the handle here is Vaughn, Victor Oscar November Vaughn, and we're in Woodland Hills,
support for K6LGO. And K6LGO, garbage for the license of old 1955. Hey, LGO is known without. This is Skip in Santa Monica, K6LGO. Thank you for collecting the organization. And still, like lady for LGO, is looking at 6H2X, and we're going to transfer some problems up. And, sensations, up and down. That's collecting Okay, Skip, K6LGO, WJ6W, and the AMI group tonight. Yeah, down here in Tarzana, California, running the Super Senior transmitter, listening on an Icon receiver or transceiver, and let's briefly hit here what we're running. And that was pretty interesting, Skip, about the station's K6LGO that gave Ron his radio test, K6LGO and K6LGP. Oh, you guys knew each other. That's kind of neat. So let's see. And Steve, doing well tonight. And Valerie, operating, working on the Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, I haven't been to Disneyland probably in 20 years, but I'll have to say that was my favorite ride too. Very cool ride. And I know they have a lot more rides now, I guess. And glad to hear that one is still running. And it's a classic. So she's in there with a real a vintage classic ride there. And I hope she's having a lot of fun. So, let's see, my AMI number is 1235, no swap, no round table,
And with that, George HCX, sorry to hear you're having a little trouble there. Hopefully it's not nothing serious. But yeah, you were breaking up a little bit here. And Jeff, really barreling through on the earlies, so thank you for that. And back to you, Steve. Thanks for picking it up. KF6SYD, WJ6W.
All right, Dave. Yes, she's having fun. So far, it's all a new adventure for her. So that's neat. Thanks, Dave. Let's see. Mike in Reno. Nice, good signal. Into Long Beach. And, yeah, if you can find something worth watching on TV, go watch it. I have trouble. With that sometimes. It's just, well, there's politics or, Anyhow, go get it. Vaughn, you're sounding good. The Mighty Viking 2. And Skip, a little trouble. Here and on KFS when you I'm in a dead zone for you tonight, Skip. So sorry I couldn't hear you better than I did. Dave, you sound great. I'm next, so that don't count no more. I'll cross myself off the list. And it goes, let's put out a call. See if there's anyone else are there any other stations that want to get added to the list for the net tonight before I proceed? If so, please call now.
97RH, November Alpha 7 Radio Hotel. Somehow I've got, I'm not tuned up on this frequency. Can you hear me, Steve?
Yeah, you're sounding loud, Bob. Very, very nice signal compared to how you are sometimes. Very, very good copy. And let's write you down before I forget you. H. Seems like you've been missing last couple of nets, but glad you're back with us. Okay, got you written down. And anyone else want to get on the list before I continue with the net? All right, let's get the next group of 4. KN6IYC, Larry. Please take your turn and turn it over to WA9JIB, Bob. And Bob, send it over to WA6JKN. That's Kevin. And Kevin, please send it down into San Diego to WA6JUS. And John down there. And John, please send it back over to me when you get done. So, KN6IYC, how you doing tonight? KF6SYD.
All right, KF6SYD. Steve, it's the Wednesday night AMI group. Oh, man, good to hear from you. KF6SYC here in the little rest, California, 69.5 feet of sea level and Granite Hills, Philadelphia. Oh, man, Steve, just Patterson, everyone's favorite ride is Pirates of the Caribbean. I know it is why. And we should be still like 33. And find out if she can sneak in there and give us a little last night. And an exclusive top secret place that is only, it's expensive. It's $35,000 initially and $15,000 a year. If you want to be part of the free. So it's pretty exclusive. But, I think, we're Chelsea. And I'm just, I'm pretty so happy to do that. We talk about an upgrade. Well, this is a crew ride to that ride is terrific. Well, anyway, my number is 1815, and tonight I am the Johnson Viking Ranger with my amplified microphone turned way down to D104. This modified. And let's see, watching my frequency stay locked still at 3070. Watching my little signal on my trapezoid go bouncing around on the ASB610 scope. My power is being boosted by the Johnson USB 101 linear amplifier. Looks like about 325 watts of carrier tonight. Swamp, Nebraska. But I will visit on very good tonight, so keep it rolling. Let's see. Jeff, thanks for getting me on the list. And Steve, doing a fine job. Listening over all the way to La Cañada. WA9JIB, Bob Overton, KM6IYC.
Yeah, KM6IYC in the group, WA9JIB, Bob here in La Cañada. Yeah, you're super strong here tonight, one of the strong signals. I'm kind of all over the map tonight, man. Getting that QSB that I had on Monday. Sometimes I wonder if my receiver's working okay, but then I get a blasting in signal, so I guess it is. Anyway, yeah, a little bit wet here today, a little more than yesterday. I don't know how much rain we actually got, because I wasn't home most of the morning. My neighbor and I have made 2 trips to the Palmdale area over the last week. First time we stopped at this place called Charlie Brown's. Anybody's heard of it? On Pear Blossom Highway. A funky little place. It was really strange. So, not in the Antelope Valley, but I'd heard about this place some years back, and finally got to go into it. And then we stopped for lunch at this Mexican roadside stand. And first time I had 2 great tacos. Today I got a burrito. I had one of the best burritos I've ever had. So, humongous. Ate half of it for lunch and half of it for dinner. So, a little bit of road trip, but that's why I don't know if it was raining here, because as soon as we shortly after we turned off from Angeles Crest Highway into Angeles Forest Highway, which goes down the valley, the clouds we were driving through and the fog turned into mostly sunshine. By the time we were in the Antelope Valley, it was a beautiful blue sky with some nice clouds and sun. So and then we drove back and came back into the clouds and fog. D104 is the microphone. Johnson Wright Valiant version 1.0 is the transmitter. About 145 is the wattage. Antenna, inverted beam dipole, about 30 mass. Receiver, extremely late. Maybe it's just connection. No AMI number. Prototype, both have 2 or 3 buttons and servers, and then, well, I guess I just really think that's sure, I'll hang out for a cycle or 2. So, that's the report from La Cañada. Hey, Kevin, I hope I still have the used to.
Is there somebody calling WA6JKN?
I'm turning it over to you, Kevin. This is WA9JIB. It's your turn.
Okay, your signal's way down. Sorry about that. All right, very good. Yeah, I'm operating SO2R, and I thought I heard someone in there, but I wasn't sure. But anyway, this is WA6JKN operating SO2R. Single operator, 2 radios. I got one on the satellite passing over right now. I got a big round table going on right now with folks all over the United States, and I have the AMI net here. So I got a question. I keep hearing international amplitude modulation international, and I got to thinking about that. Is this organization really international? In other words, the definition is 2 countries or more? Do we have anybody from other countries that are that check in or that are part of AMI? I'm just curious. It was just something that that came to mind there earlier this evening. I'm glad I just didn't forget. You know, I usually forget those kinds of things, but something to think about. No big deal. And let's see. Oh, looks like I'm making KFS. Just looked up at KFS, and I'm making KFS okay. And I'm not even sure who the net control operator is right now because I couldn't hear the net control operator about what was it? About an hour ago. Yeah, I think it's been about an hour ago. I think it was George there. He had something wrong with his transmitter, and I couldn't even barely make him out. So I think Steve took over. That's who it was, Steve. So anyway, if that's you out there, Steve, welcome aboard. By the way, the strongest signal I've heard tonight, very, very interesting, was Jeff. Jeff was almost 40 over, and even Steve is way down, about 20 when he came in. And so that's unusual, very unusual. Steve is usually the loudest. So there's definitely something going on with the propagation tonight. Anyway, I'm running the ICOM 7610 operating SO2R. I have the satellite roundtable going on in my other ear, and they're getting ready to turn over to me. So I'm going to say 73. You guys have a good evening, and we'll see you next week. This is WA6JKM, and I'm not even sure who I'm supposed to turn it to. I think it might be John, WA6JUS. If that's what I'm supposed to do, John, you probably know that already. If not, back to net control, whoever that is. WA6JKN is clear.
There was a classic transmission.
Yes, WA6JKN. That's the classic. This is WA6JUS. Back at the club, and our folky group, and we're going to finish both musicians play together enough, and they eventually become friends, and they eventually conjure together, and there's plenty of them. So it's a big deal there, and I rebuilt the power supply in a Newcomb early 50s amplifier was changed to the base pin of one of the Weissman Ortega cabinets. And so that's done. And now I recuperated. One of the days down here using my phone, my solar just missing myself a little bit here.
There it went. All right, John. Good strong signal into Long Beach tonight from the mighty big, the Big Mamoon by Mighty Big Mamoon. That doesn't go together. All right, John. Got you for the round table. Bob, WA9JIB, I have you for the round table. And interesting little excursions you've been making and where you ate. I tried to look that up, but I'm not sure that's the right restaurant. I think that was a fail, me trying to look that up and get pictures of it. But I did try. Oh yeah, Larry, I'd never heard. I thought you're talking about the restaurant. No, I don't know Club 33. From what you said, I'm not going to be knowing Club 33. Don't have those kind of financial reserves. So interesting. Yeah, very interesting about that. Thank you. Larry, I'll tell Valerie what you said. We have 4 stations left. No, 5. Can't forget Lisa. and I won't. And then we'll see if there's anybody else hanging around to check in before we close the net. So we'll do all 5. N6NYX, Greg, good to hear you. Please take your turn. Send it over to WA7 Delta Alpha X-Ray. That's Ed. If you're still out there, I hope so, Ed. And please let us hear what you've got and where you are and everything. And please turn it over to W6DQ. That's Dennis. And Dennis, if you could please, if she's around, send it over to Lisa KF62NG. You guys turn it over to NA7RH, Bob. And that'll finish the list, and we'll see if there's any more after that. So, N6NYX, Greg, over to you, KF6SYD.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. KF6SYD and the group N6NYX here in La Mesa. It was a rather rainy day, and did get some work in the field, and managed to finish the rest of it up in the office. So after that got done, started to play around on the radio with the Do Nothing net. That was the top of the hour Zulu, and now we're at like 400. So here we go. So it's AMI 1761. November 6th, November Yankee X-ray. Name is Greg. Golf Romeo Echo Golf. And La Mesa is an incorporated city in San Diego, about 12 miles east on the freeway from the Pacific Ocean. Antenna's a loop, 272 feet of mostly horizontally polarized wire, about 30 feet in the air. And that's fed with about 40 feet of open wire line, all made out of house wire, 12 gauge THHN. The radio is a Kenwood TS890. I think it's driving about 15 watts into a Ten-Tec 422. That's 300 watts carrier out. And voice modulation probably pushes that to about 500, something like that anyway. Don't have anything for sale or want. Good to hear everybody in the net. Band's holding up pretty good. I can hear all the stations in the local receiver. And yeah, I heard somebody drove your car away, Steve. That's a bummer. Anyway, you had a lot of fun with it while you had it, I'm sure. And let's see, other than that, Megan got her license to drive. So yeah, if you see a 99 white Ford Explorer with a curly-haired Brazilian woman, about 5'2", down the San Diego way, give her wide berth. That's all I got from here. What's up with Ed? WA7DAX N6NYX.
WA7 Delta Alpha X-Ray. Ed, are you still out there? So please make a transmission for us. KF6SYD calling. Well, that copper sock on it. New people far away. Call them real soon. Don't put them at the end of the list. I'll learn this thing. Do it for me. Oh, that's bad. Ed's not here. Okay. W6DQ, Dennis. Over to you.
All right, Steve. KF6SYD and the AMI net W6DQ. Dennis here in Inyo Kern. And wow, signals are beautiful tonight. It really is good conditions this evening. And it's nice to hear everybody. I did make it out here a little late tonight. Lisa is not here this evening. She wasn't really up to coming out here tonight. She's been really tired today. It's been a long day for us. I'm not going to stick around for the round table because of that. I'm going to head back to the house, but it's good to be here. Regarding Club 33, yeah, I've got a good friend of mine who's a member of Club 33. That's kind of a kick. It is quite an exclusive and expensive little place to belong to. He's been a member, boy, for as long as I can remember. And he's got some good friends who are artists with Disney and do a lot of work out there. So, boy, to think that I almost went to work for WEN Engineering, but I managed to evade that, luckily. But fantastic. Congrats to Valerie for
Getting on the Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, that's one of our favorite rides, too. Well, hopefully when we go out there next time, she'll be on that ride, and we'll get a chance to see her. That would be really cool. Let's see. Tonight, I'm not on the KW1 tonight, and I'll talk about that in a second. We're on the Flex 6700 with the Alpha 87A amplifier, using an RE20 mic with a little tiny bit of processing, and that's going out to a 540-foot horizontal loop of wire about 50 feet in the air. And so that's the story here tonight. It's been really, really windy up here today, and we were expecting some rain probably tomorrow. And of course, I have to go down to Lancaster tomorrow, so it'll be in the wind and rain on Highway 14. Not fun. Driving a high-profile vehicle, even less fun, but it has to be done. But yeah, we get that. Of course, that's just south of us, the Antelope Valley. We do get down there quite a bit. Of course, cruise through there every time we go to the LA area. We head down to 14, so yeah, we know the area down there. Let's see, my AMI number 1685, 1685, and no once or gots tonight. We're just kind of hanging out, been listening to the net, like I said, and hearing some great signals. Been here from the start, so it was great. Sorry to hear George was having problems. And I won't be around next week. Normally I would try to pick up the net next week, but I won't be here. So next month, no problem. But third Wednesday, I won't be around. But anywho, Steve, thank you so much. Jeff, thank you for taking the earlies up there. And Steve, thank you again for running that beautiful signal up here as always. You're just so loud. It's really a pleasure to listen to you. And I'm just watching my power. Well, there we go. I'm peaking up. I'm peaking up at legal limit right every now and then. So I just have to talk it up a little bit. But I really, really like the AM on this Flex. They do such a good job on it. It's just really nice. Anyway, Steve, back over to you. Oh no, I'm sorry. I need that buzzer. It goes over to Bob, NA7RH, and you got a beautiful signal out here tonight at W6DQ. So take it away from Whiskey 6 Delta Quebec. 7-3 and good night, everybody.
Okay, W6DQ and Mark, NA7RH, Bob here in the Phoenix area, running the 06DQ5 Sweet Tube Special. 8236 in the final modulated by 4 1625s and parallel push-pull. And I'm watching on the old HP, G-Kit SB610 trapezoid display there, and a little positive peaks to the left there. Anyway, 43, nothing to swap, no round cover. Listening earlier, what else? Listening earlier, I missed George. I guess I just George and Tucson. I was out trying to make the meter shunt. I was struggling with the meter shunt because somewhere along with history, this meter got zapped. And it needs a shunt. And I found it in, and I got really close, but didn't work the right 100%. And then I put in a piece of equipment here and tried it out after I installed it, and what do you know, about 3 or 4 or 5% off. Anyway, so much goes for plans of taking old broken stuff and trying to make it work better, or work at least acceptably well. So, what else is going on here? Not much. Just great to hear everyone and hear good conditions today. We finally got some rain here. A couple of days of really good rain. All the casting out in my plant was completely well almost. Within days, it's going good again. So, things are looking up.
around here a bit. Anyway, back to you, Steve. In the net, just 6 plays, but only 7 outs.
Okay, Bob. Yeah, you've got to try this stuff to see if it'll work or not. You found out. Sorry it didn't. Good on the rain. Glad you got that out there. Good signal here tonight, Bob. Thanks for being here. Dennis, you know I kept thinking, last week I made a comment about the audio on the KW1, and I was, trying to be so smart and tell you, you can do it. No, scratch that. You guys sounded so good last week on the KW1 with no EQ. It was so good. And to forget about what I said. Leave it like you had it. It was wonderful. If you want to get back on it again, that was the most superb, very good sounding audio. You and Lisa both. Say hi to Lisa. Sorry you guys were tuckered out, but rest up. You guys are... Oh yeah, next week. Understand about that. We'll miss you. We'll see you when you come back, maybe the week after. Thanks, Dennis. Greg, yeah, they drove off with the car, so I'm waiting to get it back, but so far it's getting to be kind of a long wait. We'll see if it ever comes back or not. It's on the most wanted list, so we'll see what happens. Is there anyone else that wants to check into the net tonight before we go to the round table? If so, please call now. Wait a minute, let me unmute this. Alright, please call now, KF Success ID listening. Okay, Larry, we'll put you in for the round table, and I'll put you second on the list, because that's where you would have been if you had told me when you took your, or decided by then, if you've decided now. Very good. And the round table list is as follows. And to starts out with, come on, talk, Steve, you can do it. KK6IRZ, that's Jeff, if he's there. And Jeff, if you're there, please finish your turn and turn it over to W6WUH, Larry. And still sounding strong here, Larry. Larry, please send it over to NY6L. That's Jay. And Jay, when you're finished, turn it over to WA9JIB. And Bob, send it down to WA6JUS when you're finished. None for me tonight. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Great net. Really lifted my spirits to do this tonight. So, very, very good. So, Jeff, KK6IRZ, please kick things off. Good night, everyone.